Hey guys, welcome back to Michio Makes. My name is Michio. I like to make stuff. Today I've got part number 14 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 model by DeAgostini. This is the 1/8 scale model. That's going to be huge when we're done. Without further ado, let's just jump right into this one. Okay, starting off, we've just got the cover here. We've got our favorite cardboard frames. Get rid of those. Got the kit and our little booklet. Take a look at the booklet first, as we have always done. Looks like we've got some information on the A85 and kind of the SR5 models too, though, as you would be basically calling them in the US. Kind of the really big differences between the AE85 and the different engine, as well as the interior differences you can see here. I believe this is the upper trim model with the 3-spoke wheel, and then the 2-spoke wheel for the A85 models. And then some information around the cell store. I believe this is like the Lexus ES, it looks like. It looks like a first-gen ES. Or no, that might be an LS model in the United States. Yeah, it looks like a UCF 11 right down there. And when we jump right into the model making here, I always like these informational bits. What I always like to do, if you don't know, if you can't read Japanese fluently, and I do not, is to just take, the really great thing is Google Translate. And they have actually a, camera mode, and you can just hold this up to them, to all the Japanese, and it'll translate for you. Just you have to read off your phone screen. And a lot of times you can even take a screenshot of that and then just read it as you would off your phone, versus having to stress out about, holding your phone up and reading off the screen. But diving right into the model, looks like we have a few good things here. Looks like we have a sway bar for some reason. I don't know why I would need a sway bar just yet, just because that looks like it's going to be a part when we actually get the body started and the frame being built. Looks like we have some transmission mounts. I'm not too sure. Control arms? I'm not too sure what those are. Take a look at that. Oh yeah, actually, looking down here, we have the front suspension here that we had done previously. So looks like we're going to be starting to work on little suspension parts too as well, and really starting to build up the frame itself. It looks like. Make sure that's nice and focused for you guys. So we had worked on the struts there, front springs, coilovers, and then we have the sway bars going into as well. So we're actually not even touching the engine at all today. And that's the end of the book. So with this part, let's go ahead and open up the parts themselves and take a peek at them. Okay, diving right in, let's just start taking a look at our first piece. Not too sure what part this is. It looks like part of the frame. Front engine support almost. So marked with an R. This part's marked with an L. Looks like a piece of the control arm. Another part marked with R that looks like it's going to be part of the other side of the frame, because we only have one spring on. Another piece here that looks like not part of the sway bar, but part of the, again, front suspension here. Two of them. What I noticed too is that these are very, not very cold, but they are cold, so it means that these parts are made of metal actually, which is awesome. The big piece of the front sway bar, which is 100% metal. You can tell in the fingers. Some brackets, it looks like. These look like the connection points for the sway bar too as well, that go attached to the front part of the suspension. And then for screws we have XM, AP, and AM. And that's it for this part. Okay, getting back into what we had for the front part of the suspension and the frame. We're taking this piece here, marked with an R, and we're going to be attaching it right here to the part of the frame. There is a little hole right here, you can see, and it actually is blocked by the power steering, but so you need to kind of push this thing to the side, because if you actually had it turn the other direction, you can't get that hole at that hole at all. So you have to have this turned to the side. You can actually just lift it up and pull it like you're turning the wheel, and it exposes that hole there to attach this hole right there in there. And for that, we're going to need screw XM. A little bit longer, it looks like. Okay, it took a little bit of finagling, but I was able to get it in. It's pretty tight around that, and might have a little bit of difficulty screwing this in. Let's see. Well, not too bad. Okay, got it on. It was a little bit difficult to actually get this aligned and pushed in. Let me focus for you guys. Okay, got it on. It was a little difficult to get it aligned and focused perfectly, but I got it in. It did take a little bit of pushing, and you had to retract this pretty good. I did scrape up the bottom of here a little bit, but nothing a little bit of Sharpie wouldn't be able to just quickly cover up. Next, we're actually going to be attaching this control arm here, right here, looks like, to this piece. The biggest thing I've noticed, though, is that the alignment of this is kind of strange. Let me zoom in here. To get this done properly, let's see. There you go. All right, so the alignment here is a little difficult only because you have two ways you can do it, obviously, this way and this way. And from the photos, I believe this is pointed up, so the circle part is pointed up. There is no hole there, but in the pictures I'm seeing here, they're pointed up. So I'll need to attach this right here to this part. Right here. On the back side. It looks like I'm using an AM screw. That looks decent enough. All right, let's move on to the next step. Okay, for the sway bar, it looks like we've got to do a little bit of alignment here because there's a couple small holes here. We're going to be able to put these points into as well. That's where the connection point is right there. And they highlight actually in the red circle of the angle of attack for these. So you want to make sure that this gets actually under the frame here, you can see, and align these connection points inside because that's where the screw is going to go. If you actually look at it in this diagram right here, this is actually one that's probably the most telling on how this is supposed to be aligned. So it is right there. You can see that. I'll zoom in real quick. You can see that it connects in back here with the underneath the connection point down here, but then also flows underneath the frame itself right here, front suspension. So let's zoom back out and let's see if I can make sure you guys can see this section in focus. We've got these 2 points here, one right here. Can you see that one right there? Make sure this is in focus for you. And then one right here on this side. And we take the sway bar, kind of loop it underneath here, like that, like so. Pull it up, and it kind of drops right in like that. Perfect. So it is just kind of sitting on there. It does hold up the arms here as a suspension would, and then we lock this down with screws. And you can actually hear the fact that this is all metal, which is awesome. And then we flip it over and secure it with AM screws. So I'm going to go ahead and get those set up. You can see the holes right here too as well. being pretty delicate because I don't want things to kind of pop out and flop out at me. Looks good, nice and secure. I've said this several times, but it's just really nice that these are it's so well made that it's pretty effortless to actually get these screws in. To bend the sway bar just a little bit to get this one aligned over this side. Oh, that screw came out. Guess I didn't have it secure. There we go. This side's getting locked in. And this side, just need that screw back. All right. And front sway bar is in. Okay, next part is to get these strut bars attached, and they're going to get aligned to this hole right here. And then that same thing on this side. We don't have this front spring on this side just yet, obviously, so it's going to be right here. And we use the same AM screw. Just kind of have to hold it and finagle it if you don't have 3 hands. We're going to do our best. Excellent. This side looks like it's all good. And same thing on this side. Only one hole you can put this in. Right there. Grab a screw. And those are the front strut bars. And with that last piece installed, we are actually done with this part. They are saving the rest of these parts for another book, and we'll hopefully just revisiting it, make sure we don't lose anything. But I want to thank you guys for joining me on this part number 14 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. And I will see you guys in the next one, where we will be looking at actually making the other suspension front spring coilover here on the front. So look forward to that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day.